Are you actually going to defend their decision to have had this debate?
Well, first, good evening, and thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure. I think John and his team did that debate because at the end of the day, John Fetterman respects the voters of Pennsylvania, and he knows what we need and what we expect to see from our candidates for office. And he knows this because he is one of us. Born and bred Pennsylvanian, mayor of a small town, lieutenant governor. He's been running around talking to Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania's families about our hopes, our dreams, our struggles for his whole career. And he knows what we expect to see from folks, and he knows that we want to see someone up there fighting for us.
But you've just given me a political speech. I'm asking for analysis. I'm asking for looking now at what we saw in that debate. I'll even give it to you in retrospect, because it seems to me that even if it wasn't in retrospect, there's no way to justify it. But in retrospect, this was a mistake, wasn't it, for John Fetterman?
I'm not so sure I agree with that. If we think about style, yes, John Fetterman fell down a little bit on style. But if we look at the substance of it, we heard from someone who has a real plan about what Pennsylvania families need. And we look at style, John was always going to struggle to compete with Dr. Oz, the guy who spent more than a decade on air peddling snake oil miracle cures to desperate Americans who were searching for hope. So he was never going to be able to compete on style. But if we get down to substance, we heard someone who has real vision for what Pennsylvania families need versus someone who just decided to show up in Pennsylvania for the first time a year ago.
But again, these are talking points that you're giving me. I mean, I got it. I understand that those are the downsides to Dr. Oz, and they've been brought up again and again. He was way down in this campaign early on, I think for a number of the reasons you're laying out. Early on, Dr. Oz was running a really bad campaign. He was gaffe after gaffe. It's gotten better. His campaign has gotten stronger. He's learned from his mistakes. And what I'm trying to figure out is when you're up by 2 points, let's call it, roughly, in a really tight race, it seems to me it is political malpractice that someone allowed him to have that debate. And I guess that's the question I'm asking you. Do you disagree with me that it was political malpractice on Fetterman's team to allow him to do that debate? I'm not judging whether he should be elected. I'm not judging whether people should vote for him. I'm simply asking from a political perspective, it seems like it was a disaster.
I think, and I'll speak as a Pennsylvanian, not a strategist, I think we want to see our people on that stage. And I think John and his team know that. And I think the downside of not doing it would have overcome the substantive complaints that we're talking about, the stylistic complaints that we're talking about today.
That I get. Look, and that's the ultimate question, right, is the cost benefit. Let me play you a piece of sound. This is Fetterman on the medical records. Again, further indicating to me he couldn't and shouldn't have done this debate. Meaning, if you're not going to release your medical records, and you know that that's going to be a question, and you're going to be as rough as he was in this debate, this issue seems to me to be a difficult one. He was asked about why he wasn't releasing all of his medical records. This is number one.
To me, for transparency is about showing up. I'm here today to have a debate. I have, speeches in front of 3,000 people in Montgomery County, all across Pennsylvania, big crowds. I believe if my doctor believes that I'm fit to serve, and that's what I believe is appropriate. And now with 2 weeks before the election, I have run a campaign and I've been very transparent about being very open about the fact we're in use captioning. And I believe that, again, my doctors, the real doctors that I believe in, they all believe that I'm ready to be served.
Follow up, I didn't hear you say you would release your full medical records. Why not? You have 30 seconds.
No, again, my Dr. L believes that I'm fit to be serving, and that's what I believe.
Again, he doesn't even seem to have an answer for this, right? I mean, putting aside the stylistic, now let's talk substance. I mean, there are plenty of substantive reasons, right? We have decided that there are too many private things in there about, I don't know what the answer is, but they should have had something ready. It just feels like Fetterman came into this, and he used the word elephant in the room, and I think that was a very smart way that he described it at the outset. But the elephant in the room was his appearance, was his ability to communicate. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.